وخرج الإمام أحمد وابن ماجه من حديث زيد بن ثابت. It's reported by Ahmad and Ibn Majah in the hadith of Zayd ibn Thabit عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, من كانت الدنيا همه. If you have Jami al-Ulum al-Hikam and you have this hadith in front of you, memorize it. Memorize it for your own benefit. من كانت الدنيا همه. Whoever's worry and concern is the dunya, فرق الله عليه أمره, then Allah will فرق عليه أمره, أي شؤونه, that Allah will scatter his matters. Allah will discombobulate, disorganize his life, from making the dunya his what he is worried and concerned about, his greatest worry and his greatest concern. من كانت الدنيا همه فرق الله عليه أمره, and Allah will scatter his matters for him. وَجَعَلَ فَقْرَهُ بَيْنَ عَيْنَيْهِ, and he will place faqr, poverty, between his eyes. If something is right between your eyes, it is literally in front of your face between your eyes, it's all that you can see. It's all that you can see. Meaning that a person, no matter what they have of the dunya, if all they are worried about is the dunya, they will never feel as though they have enough. They will always feel as though they need more. They will be in a state of faqr, of neediness and poverty, no matter how much they have. Whoever makes the dunya his greatest worry and concern, فرق الله عليه أمره. Three things. Allah will scatter and disorganize his matters. وَجَعَلَ فَقْرَهُ بَيْنَ عَيْنَيْهِ, and Allah will place poverty for him between his eyes. And the third thing, وَلَمْ يَأْتِهِ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَا كُتِبَ لَهُ, and nothing will come to him from this dunya except for what has been already written. Except for what has been already written. Meaning that a person, they will have, every person has anyways what is already written. What is already written. But what this hadith shows us is that ma indallah, is that what Allah has for you is not gotten by obsessing over it. You're not going to wish something into existence, will something into the universe, as the kuffar they say. The power of wishful thinking. That's the book that Donald Trump said was his favorite book. The power of wishful thinking. The power of wishful thinking. It allows a person to fail upwards and downwards all at the same time. The power of wishful thinking. There are people who teach in business that if you really want something, you have to wish it into being. Now, of course, you have to aspire for something and to focus upon something and to work for something and that sort of thing. There's no doubt about that. But you cannot wish something into existence. That'd be like trying to move objects with your mind. Right? I'm going to wish something into existence. I'm going to will it into being. Really? You can will something into being? Wouldn't that be shirkun akbar? To think about yourself that you can will something into being. That you can make something materialize in this world by the power of wishful thinking. That is a special type of stupid. That is a special type of stupid. A person has reached a very high level of emotional immaturity where they think that they can just wish something into existence. Everything in life, وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. People don't get anything except for that which they work for. This is what was revealed to all of the prophets. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى وَأَنَ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى ثُمَّ يُجْزَاهُ جَزَاءَ الْأَوْفَى. And that a person doesn't get anything except for that which they work for. You have to work for what you want in life. You can't sit around feeling entitled. You can't sit around acting like a victim. You can't sit around thinking that you can wish things and materialize things into existence. That is the evil and the harm of modern day technology, right? Everybody lives in virtual reality. This weirdo, what's the guy's name? Zuckerberg? This weirdo said he wants to bring people closer together. He wants to bring people closer together with the new Facebook platform, Meta, where everybody becomes an avatar. This is how you bring people closer together. It's by everybody becoming an avatar and floating in outer space and living in a fantasy world. While they get poor and poor and he gets richer and richer. He's sitting in meetings all day. You better believe that with this, with the stockholders and this, that, and the third. He's not talking about the power of wishful thinking. He's out there working and scheming, right? And people today, they live in a world that's virtual reality, where you think that things just happen by thinking about them, and that everything is at your fingertips, and nothing takes effort and nothing takes work. Instant gratification, no delay of gratification. It's very harmful, very detrimental to a person. Very detrimental to a person. So nothing will come to the person of the dunya illa ma kutiba lahu, except what has been written for the person already. You can't will things into existence. Whatever is coming to you is coming. Whatever is coming to you is coming. It's not going to come by ignoring the rights of Allah, ignoring the rights of your family, cutting the ties of the womb, scheming and cheating and stealing and so on and so forth. Nothing is going to come to you from this world illa ma kutiba lahu, except for what has already been written for the person. وَمَنْ كَانَتِ الْآخِرَةُ نِيَّتَهُ, and whoever makes the hereafter their niyyah, whoever makes their niyyah, their intention, the hereafter, meaning that they have sincerity, that they want the reward of Allah in hereafter. جَمَعَ اللَّهُ لَهُ أَمْرَهُ, then Allah will organize all of His matters for him. Allah will organize that person's life, that they make the religion the core of their life, and everything is built around the religion. Their work and their school and their play and everything else is after the religion and secondary to the religion. Whoever makes the hereafter and working for the hereafter their niyyah, their intention, جَمَعَ اللَّهُ أَمْرَهُ, then Allah will gather His amr, meaning His umur, His ahwal, all of His affairs for him. وَجَعَلَ غِنَاهُ فِي قَلْبِهِ, and Allah will place ghina, contentment and richness in that person's heart. The person will feel rich. The person will feel rich because they have Islam, because they have their health, because they have a good situation, because they have been blessed by Allah with a good family and so on and so forth, because they have done what Allah loves and so Allah has blessed their life. And they have halal money that they spend in a halal way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will gather their affairs for them. And He will place richness in that person's heart. وَأَتَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ, and the dunya will come to that person وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ, while it is forced to do so. Allah will force the dunya, meaning that even if the dunya didn't want, Allah will force the whole dunya to come to that person. The dunya will come to that person. Look at how the companions of the Prophet ﷺ were. Look at the wealth that they had. Look at the wealth that they had. I was reading a book by an Orientalist last night, and he was quoting all these passages from the Bible about poverty and humility and so on and so forth, and saying, but there's nothing like that in Islam, he says. There's nothing like that in Islam about making the hereafter the priority, the next life the priority. This is what this man said, who was fluent in the Arabic language, who was trained in Cambridge, who traveled the Muslim world, who worked as a diplomat in the Muslim world, who had extensive knowledge about Islamic history and Islamic law and so on and so forth. He said, هَذَا أَضَلُّ مِنْ بَعِيرِ أَهْلِ. This man, this pseudo-expert, is dumber than a domesticated donkey. I almost used the other word, but we don't want it to be mistaken. Whoever makes the dunya their ambition, and Allah will cause them to be in a state of neediness and want. Whoever makes the hereafter their ambition, أَتَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ. So he goes on to talk about how this particular mustashriq, this Orientalist, he goes on to talk about how wealthy the Muslims were and how prosperous the Muslims were, as though the Muslims never had to struggle, as though the Muslims weren't outnumbered by the nations and the empires that surrounded them, as though the companions of the Prophet ﷺ didn't go through what they went through for 13 years in Mecca, as though they never had significant struggles in Medina and that sort of thing. And this is the furthest thing away from the truth. However, a person having humility and a person having humbleness with Allah and making the hereafter their priority, a person will be blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with wealth and prosperity and happiness. أَتَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ.